So I'm having this really hard time with creating a driver for a shape key. Right now I have the shape key for this one animation. You can see it here. He pops up, he falls, he hits his head. See how his hat flattens and then it pops back up? That's the shape key in action. I've only got one animation that needs this, but I got like 20 others and it's getting in the way. So I need to create a driver apparently in order to keep that shape key only associated with the animations I want it to. So well, let me show you what happens when I try to do that, I guess. It doesn't really matter which one I start with. Oh, by the way, fun fact. I actually moved the world around. He's actually staying right where he is. See, his registration point stays at the origin. That's pretty funny, right? I don't know. This is just for showcasing purposes anyhow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide these items. Yeah, this is one of those videos where I take forever to cut to the chase, but I'm doing that right now. I don't technically even need the plane, so I'm not going to bother with it. Don't need it for nothing. So here's the animation without the ground plane. Yeah, I'm gonna move them around myself in Unity. Okay. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new bone. Whoops. So there's his traditional pose. I'm gonna go Control A. No, I'm not. I'm gonna Shift A. I'm gonna call this underscore shape key hat scrunch. Okay. And it's not the right location because I'm not paying attention. I'll do that, right? Yeah, it's fine. Shift S, cursor to selected. I'll Shift A. That's just fine. Ugh. So what I really wanted is for this thing to rotate 90 degrees like a lever in order to activate that shape key, but I was having a lot of trouble getting that to work at all, whereas I got like some kind of interference when I simply translated. So I'll show you what happens when I translate it, okay? So if I open this thing up, not like that, god damn it, I don't want to have this problem right now. I don't want to have that problem. There you go. So I'm going to go over to the dope sheet, see the graph editor, and I'm going to go to frame 116. I've been working on this so long, I know exactly which frames this thing is getting activated for. Okay, so at frame 116, he's going to start hitting his head. And in fact, I'll even show you really quick. It's right here, hat scrunch. So notice if I scrub from 116 to 124, it goes from 0 to 1, and then from 174 to 179, it goes back down again. Okay. So here's me trying to set this up. So first thing I got to do, I imagine, is create a keyframe when this is going to start. Then I got to go ahead to frame 124 where it ends, and I have to move this thing. So I'm going to go to the local space, local orientation, and I'm going to say GZ10, because that way it's noticeable, right? One would not be noticeable. This guy got scaled by factor of 10 at some point. I just never fixed it before I started doing the animations, and it was too late. So I just scale everything down by factor of 10 in Unity on import, and everything's just fine. So that's my next frame. And then at 174, I hit it again. And then at 179, I need to put it back. There you go. See? All right, so that's going to be my driver bone. Okay, so here comes the part where things seem to really go awry, and I don't really know what to do about it. So if I go, there's some interpolation I want to do with that, but it's, I failed so many times. Let me show you why things aren't going right, or let me show you that they are not going correctly. Here's the hat scrunch again, right? Notice it's got keyframes. In fact, if I should show you that, if I go to Graph Editor, you can see that this got this value of hat scrunch here, right? So this thing is screwing things up in every single action I have, and I have quite a few of them. You see, I can't have this hacking and scrunch in every one of these. It doesn't make sense. So what I'm gonna have to do, I don't know what I have to do. That's why I'm asking you guys. So if that thing's not here, if this hat scrunch key channel is not available, like nothing seems to be happening at all. So if I go to drivers, go here, right click and say add driver. Okay, well, it was going to give me some options right there, but I moved my cursor, I guess, so whatever. Notice immediately that it's muted. That's not happening on anybody else's videos, and there's not that many out there. There are none for 2.8. Now, the documentation, which I have read, doesn't say anything about muting, although I do know there's a way to enable or disable things. In fact, look right here. See this check mark? That's muted right there. But notice it's already muted. Why is it already muted? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Shit, I just don't know what to do about it. I did figure out how to kind of get this thing set up, even though it's not going to work, right? So check this out. If I go into the drivers, you can tell me what I'm doing wrong, maybe. I'm going to change this from scripted expression to average value because that's what everybody's doing and no other reason. Right now it's at the transform channel, which makes sense, I guess. And I'm going to change that to the shape key, excuse me, the bone that I'm using. This is going to turn out to be Z local. So it's going to be the Z location in local space. And the value of this thing is currently 0. Now those values are supposed to be determined by this graph right here. So if I go to the F curve and I just go to the very first keyframe, I've only got one of these guys, right? I think I might have two. I do have two. Okay. So I'm going to put the left handle at 0, 0 so I get a linear interpolation. Or that's my intention anyway. I don't understand how anything works. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so the frame is supposed to actually represent like the transform, the translation, the transformation value. So I moved it ahead 10 units, so I'm going to make this 10. And the value should be 1. This one should be 0, 0 because it should be off initially, right? I made the left handle 0, 0. Oh, that's right, the right handle has to be set first. 0, 0. Now I can set this one. 0, 0. And I just set the wrong one, huh? Okay. No, so this one's going to be at 0, 0. That's fine. Excuse me, folks. Now the left handle is just going to be, I mean, I'm putting the handles at the same spots. Blender does not do everything right or great. Okay, so if I go over 10 units, I have increased the value to 1, right? So that should make sense. And in fact, if you kind of see, if I show you what happens now that I've set this up, I'm going to side view. Now before, you could see that it's doing this. It's scrunching, right? But now look, this whole thing gets muted right here, and that's causing a problem. Why is it getting muted? Excuse me. It's getting muted from 128 to 174. So you can see I'm rotating right here. From 124. This is the wrong one. This is pipe eject. Why am I in pipe eject? I was in pipe eject 1 this whole time. Okay, anyway. Do I have the frames on this one? Eject 1, and it's got keys. Okay, so that's the way it should be. Oh, I know why, because every time I click this, it's associated with, no, see, it's pipe eject 1. That's what I want. And if I go to drivers, see, it's still muted. So, yeah, I don't know why I was on pipe eject for a second. I made a copy. I don't even know how to get rid of this thing. I know how to get rid of it in Unity. I just don't know how to get rid of it here. Guys, do you see why I'm so weirded out? It shows up muted on default. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to unmute it. I don't know how to make it work correctly. Just take my word for it. If I delete that channel in the graph editor, you know, nothing's going to happen at all. I don't know why it's getting deactivated over this period right here, because I'm not telling it to do that. I mean, obviously something is, and I guess that would be me, but I don't know. Let's try reverting. So here we are from the start, and if I just click on him, that's pipe eject 1. This is pipe eject. I want to turn on pipe eject 1. And if I just go into this tab and I just scrub over that region, what's going to happen? See, it's on the whole time. It's on the whole time. So it's something about setting up that driver that really makes it mad. In fact, let's just create a driver. It's an arbitrary driver. See what happens over this region. By default, it still works. Just calling it shape keys. I don't have to be specific right now. Okay, and I'm still keeping my eye on this thing. So if I scrub again, nothing bad's has happened yet. So go into pose mode. I'm still in pipe eject 1. Pull this guy out. Go into the graph editor. So at 116, I haven't really done anything. That's the identity. So if I go into global to local, and I shift it ahead 10 units in the Z. Oh, no, I don't want to do that yet. There you go, 10 units in the Z. Hit it with a key. And then 174. Hit it with another key. And 179. Hit it again. Oops. Well, put it back. Hit it. Okay, there you go. Better. Okay, so get out of that. Let's check the status again. Looking them over. No changes. Okay. Now, if I go to him, pipe eject 1, hat scrunch, doesn't really matter what it is. So I'm going to say open drivers. I didn't make him a driver. Did I assign the driver? Not even 5 minutes ago? Maybe I did. I'll have to watch this video. Yeah, there it is. I wasn't even paying attention. Jeez, dude, come on, get it together. Okay, anyway. And so here we go. Here's where things go awry. Instead of scripted expression, I'm going to say average value. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Okay. And armature, shape key, Z location, local space. Okay. Now this is kind of interesting. This never gets put ahead right here. What is that? You know, maybe I should have looked up what the hell that thing is. So if I scrub, yeah, it's off in this region again. You can see that right there. Why is it off? Okay, well that thing is clearly just following the behavior of that bone. So, like, whatever. So, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, like, you know, you've seen everything I can do here. I can just keep on doing this. 0, 0, 0. It's the right handle. 0, 0, 0, 0. Terrific. 10, 1. 10, that's not going to work. 10, 1. 10, 1. I just don't understand why that's not going to work. All right, that's it. If you can help, I really appreciate it.